Hey y'all, Jim Pankey here. Give folks a minute or two to drop in, see what's going on. Uh, hopefully, hopefully we're live. I'm gonna check that real quick. Make sure I'm out there. Uh, don't want to talk to just a nobody, but I'm okay with that. Excuse me while I look on the interweb and make sure that I am happening live. Let's see. I kind of like to believe I am. Uh, hmm. Oh yeah, we're live. Awesome. All right. Hey, I got a couple of viewers. Hey, Astro, Dino. Hey, hey guys. Hey, thanks for dropping in. We got some viewers now. If you're watching from Facebook, which you can, this we're celebrating my YouTube success. Facebook, I don't have a ton of traction there, but it's growing, and we are, stuff's happening, and so we're just going to hang out and talk. I'll try to get to some questions for y'all. I'll pick a tune and show you some instruments and this stuff you've seen. There's nothing sitting around me that y'all haven't seen before, but it's pretty neat. Talking Rock. Hey, Adam Barnes. Adam's probably 30 minutes from me. Let's see. Let's see what I've got here. Vic, bought your first banjo a week ago. Well, boy, you're in for it. It's a good ride. I've had such a ball with this. Hang on, I'm gonna fiddle with my phone for just a second. Do something crazy. Maybe I won't lose y'all. Am I still there? Oh yes, I'm still here. Good. I didn't do something. I didn't break it. Hey Donna. Hey, if I miss saying hello to you, I'm looking at two different screens here, so this is pretty neat for me. I tell you, folks, I started my YouTube channel in 2006. YouTube was new, pretty much, and it's kind of interesting, y'all. Some of y'all know that I'm a ukulele player. Some of you don't, and now y'all do. It's not a dirty secret, but it's a fun thing that I do. And so in 2006, I was surfing the brand new YouTube, and I saw Jake Shimokibura post a ukulele song, "While My Guitar Gently Weeps." It's like, and he's sitting outside and he's playing, and I thought, well, heck, I can do that, but not with a ukulele. I can do it with a banjo. So you can go out to my channel. Well, you're here, but you can scroll through my videos, and there is a video, "Rock the Cradle Joe," and it's from March of 2006, and that's my very first YouTube video, and it was a lot of folks watched it. It's old time banjo. It's clawhammer. I'm playing my on it. I played this. This is my Ramsey. It's a and I know Donna. Y'all saw Donna go across there in the stream. Donna covets this banjo. I think it's a 12-inch rim. It's a wood rim. It's a 12-inch woody. Yeah, demonetized. But it's a cool banjo. And so I started out primarily doing old time banjo. I mean, I did a bunch of old time banjo back then, and well, I still play a lot of old time banjo. But YouTube, that was my outlet, because I was playing with a couple of different bluegrass bands then, and I didn't really, I wasn't playing a lot of old time with the bluegrass bands, obviously. So I was just, that was my outlet for old time. And that kind of grew. And I wound up with some pretty cool teaching. Jeffman called me, and so I wound up teaching at Steve Kaufman's camp. And I taught a bunch of old time banjo based on those first handful of videos, and they did pretty good. But it's just, but about, and so what next? Oh, so there was a bunch of that, and then I posted some. I would post them real sporadically, and I didn't really work on my channel. And then I had a music store where I was teaching. It said, "Hey, we can get these Flint Hill banjos." He said, "I think they're really Recording Kings, but I'm not real sure what the deal is, but they look like the same thing that Recording King's making. But I can get you one of these at just a super bargain." And so, hey, you got a big picture of me. Sorry about that. So he said, "I can get you a bargain on this." And so when, me being the opportunist that I am, it's like, yeah, let's get one of those. So he ordered me one, and it was a good banjo. I was so impressed with it, and had started playing it some and using it in some gigs. And I sent Greg Rich a message, and with dirty laundry here. So I met Greg Rich in '92, and I had a little shop, and I had people coming to me that was wanting banjos, and mostly I was just teaching. And but retail was going to grow, and so I went to the NAMM show, and I met Greg, and I really didn't know what to make of Greg. I mean, it was like I'm talking to him one minute, and then poof, he's gone somewhere else. It's like, okay, I guess he really doesn't want to talk to me. And so it was just really awkward and weird. But I wound up, he was there with Rich and Taylor at the time, and I wound up being a Rich and Taylor dealer. But it was just really awkward, and I kind of there for a while just avoided Greg because I really didn't understand him. Well, fast forward to 2011 or so, I reached out to him and I said, "Man, I've been looking for banjos to recommend to students on a regular basis. And there's nothing on the market that's affordable that folks can even think about buying. I mean, you can buy, a super cheap, $150, $200 banjo, and it'll get you going. But then the next jump from that was about a $1,500 to $2,000 banjo. And it's like, man, it's just hard for folks to do that." And Recording King had just came out with the RK35, and it was priced about, I don't remember. So I'm going to bring somebody in, and maybe he'll know or not. But I mean, it was less than $700 for this banjo, and it's a pro banjo. I mean, it's maple. It's not curly maple or anything super fancy, but it's maple neck. Got a tone ring. Nice tone ring, good flange. I mean, and it played great and sounded great. And so I thought, man, I can finally recommend one of these instruments. And so Greg says, "Well, come to SPIGMA," which is Society of, we always laugh, it's the Society for Prevention of Bluegrass Music in America, but it's the Society for Preservation of Bluegrass Music in America Festival in Nashville, which is about 3 hours from me. So, and I usually go. And so I walked up. Well, rode up to Nashville, walked in, and found Greg and talked to him. And he started showing me these banjos. He showed me this and that RK-75. And I just love this thing. I mean, at the time, I liked this better than the 75. I mean, it was, I love the look of it, and the guts and all were the same. And he's like, man, I want to get you playing one of these. And I said, I told him, man, I said, if these banjos are going to be this, I got no problem playing it. I mean, I can play anything I want. I've got Stelling, I've had Gibsons, I've got one of Gary Price's banjos. I've got pretty much everything. And at the time, I had an Ohm, and I don't know what all else I had. I just, like most banjo players, you wind up with a bunch of stuff. So over the next few months, I met through Greg this guy. So I'm going to add him to the stream. Y'all, this is Ashley Atz. And Ashley, are you there, Ashley?
I'm here. All
right.
Hello.
And so Ashley is the artist and relations manager.
Yeah. I'm the one. So there's, that's it.
And so so I know what happened with me and Greg, but what happened with you and Greg? How does it work? Because to this day, I really don't quite understand that. I talked to Greg and he said, hey, we want you playing one of these banjos. And the next thing I know, I get a call from you. So.
Well, for sure that Greg is a legend in the bluegrass community. And so as our instruments kind of started to have a little bit more interest in people in the bluegrass world, we really relied on his recommendation of what direction to go, of the types of people who should be playing these banjos. So kind of like as you were saying, just as we were first getting things rolling, we were really looking for people that we could partner with that would, that we could have a mutually supportive relationship, and we provide good instruments, and people who have trustworthy opinions would recommend them, So I don't know, that's a ham-handed way to say it, obviously, but we're really
really, I didn't understand. I mean, I knew that Greg was involved, but I also knew at that point I knew Greg, and so it was like he's telling me things. It's like it was kind of like I didn't want to, it's like I'll believe it when I see it, It's like,
yeah, and I mean that's part of it too. Greg is the type of person who needs he is excellent on ideas, and as long as he has someone to help him with the, to deal with the logistical part of it, which is where I come in, then he's good to go. So yeah, for sure, he would be able to find the people who people like yourself who really had strong community connections, and then he would introduce the two of us, and then obviously built our friendship from there.
Yeah. I remember with Greg, with Rich and Taylor, and one of the things that I felt like that they really did right was really reaching that artist community. I mean, here they came. I mean, they came out of the gate, and everybody was playing Rich and Taylor banjo. I mean, it was mind-boggling. I went to I go to a show or a festival or somewhere, and here's Ron Block playing Rich and Taylor. Here's Steve Dilling playing Rich and Taylor. I mean, everybody. And so that was Greg. I mean, that was his push. Now, I mean, I know Mark Taylor had some connections and Tut, but Greg was really the push there. And y'all have done the same thing. I mean, when I started looking at, when we started talking about this, y'all, the same festival, the same Spigma, Greg was talking to Kenny Ingram, Big K. I mean, he was talking to Kenny and signed Kenny on. And I mean, it's amazing. I had Sonny Osborne. It was one of my local students just wound up buying one of the Sonny Osborne Recording King banjos. I mean, guy walked in the barber shop and said, "Hey, I got this banjo," and so the barber shop, the guy that owns it, another former student of mine, called me and said, "You know anybody looking for banjo?" And it's like, yeah. And so I called the student, and I mean, it's like, so I mean, y'all had, and still do. I mean, you got Carl Jackson.
Mhm. I mean, he is amazing for sure.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean,
but so it was, for me, it was a thrill to finally have somebody say, yeah, this guy needs to have a banjo in his hand. And because, you know, and at the time I was traveling and playing a bunch of shows and festivals. And shortly after that, I mean, that was in middle of 2011 and 2012, you know, I did that tour in Ireland, and this is the one that went to Ireland. I mean, I played the heck out of this thing, and it's nasty and gross, and it's got drool marks on it. It's okay.
yeah, looks great to me.
Country boy, is there a reason why banjos are so heavy? Yeah, they. Somebody figured out at some point that as you add mass to this, it allows for this head and bridge and all to just really vibrate. So you're not losing a lot of vibration through, you know, something really light. So yeah, and when I was a kid learning to play, and I had a cheap $150 K banjo, no tone ring. It was barely a banjo. We call them fly swatters now. I would go to the music store and I'd just pick up banjos and find the heavy one, and that was going to be the one that was it. So yeah, that's the question on that. So one of the things, so we're talking about my channel, and so in 2011, I got this banjo, and with the agreement that, hey, play the banjo, show people the banjo, let folks try the banjo. And basically, I was just a walking commercial. So everywhere I went, you know, I just hand folks this banjo, say, check it out. And I was telling my students about it. I've had a bunch of students buy the 35 and buy the 75 and all these different instruments. And then I thought, well, you know, I could do a video. You know, let's review this thing. And so I started this 6-month review. And so I played the banjo for about a month, and I did a quickie review, you know, told about the banjo. And then I came back 6 months later and did it again. And I did that for a couple of years with this banjo. And those videos took off. I mean, I would be out somewhere playing at a festival, and somebody would come up and say, I bought that banjo because you said, because of your review on the video. Or they would come up to me and say, I bought this banjo because the music store I was in showed me that video of this banjo that you did. So music stores were using my review to show people the banjo. Yeah, so it was really kind of neat. I had no idea that it would even get any views. And so that little video, you know, led to another and led to another. And so as I would get something, you know, I did most of them with this, but I had later, y'all seen this one. This is the M5 that's on loan from Recording King. It seems like, and and so I've done tons of videos with this and traveled and played with this a good bit too. Both of these things I've had fret jobs done, fret dressed, and I mean, I've played the heck out. And really everything else I've owned since this has been kind of parked. I really don't play anything else. And it's not that I feel obliged to play them. It's, I like them. I mean, if I didn't like them, I wouldn't do it. So,
well, thank you. And, you know, from our side, man, I mean, we're a small company. You know, the marketing money that we are able to spend, we choose to spend it on putting instruments in the hands of people who are playing, because we feel like those are the people who are best positioned to tell the story more credibly than we could ever do on our own. So you know, our partnership and friendship has been absolutely awesome because it's really exposed us to such a huge audience. We really fit that entry level but credible banjo area. and that's exactly the audience of many of your, of your viewers also. So we've been really, really lucky. It's been great for us. So congratulations, man. I mean,
well, I appreciate it. I tell you, this whole 50,000 thing, that's where I started to get some traction. And it was with the Recording King banjos. And I really honestly don't think I could have done this without the relationship that I've had with Recording King. And I tell everybody that. I tell everybody that. Because it's just I mean, y'all been good to me, but the product speaks for themselves. We've got a local music store. The guy that runs the store now, he's a musician, but the lady that had it, well, it's a family store, Bigham's Music in Dalton, Georgia. Amos and Leila Bigham started that store back in the 70s or maybe before. And then their daughter, Iva, ran the store for many years. And Iva didn't play anything, but she would basically say, I don't have to be a salesman because what I carry in my store sells itself. And these banjos, they sell themselves. I think anybody picks one up and plays one, they immediately know that this is the real thing. This isn't an imitation. It's a real banjo. And
thank you.
And so that's a really great thing. Let's see if there's any questions. I'm sure there are. Oh, Thomas asked, how many cats do I have? I have 6. I have 6 that I claim. But yeah, I have 1 cat. My wife has 5.
They're all indoor cats? Do you have all those cats indoors?
They are all currently indoor. 2 of them go out, but 4 of them do stay in. So yeah, we have cats. We have cats. There's one sleeping right here. Yeah. So yeah, we're cat people. Go figure. Who knew? Let's see. Any other questions? Oh, I don't know if that's an Ashley question or not, but who imports arcade banjos into the UK, and are they set up and ready to go? I don't know who your UK people are. I know that in Galway, which is not UK, but it's a Maloney in Galway has some banjos. I think he's a Recording King dealer and understands banjos, but I don't know in the UK. And we'll get you a question. We'll get you an answer to that one. It's hard. Even that question applies kind of even in the States. It's like, who has these banjos for sale and ready and set up and ready to go out the door? Mm-hmm. And there's just only a handful of folks that do that. If you buy one off of Amazon, you kind of get what you get. I mean, they're really close, but it's nice to buy from a mom and pop shop or a shop that actually knows banjos and can set them up. I mean, if you buy one from Banjo Ben, I mean, he's a banjo player. He knows. If you buy one from Ross Nickerson, he knows the instruments. And so, I mean, and not to advertise those guys, but they're out there and they're doing a great job. So at least, someone like that or a local store that knows banjos, then you have a better chance. But as far as, and so even in the US, that's not easy. And in the UK, gosh, who knows? That sounds like a complicated question.
Well, a nice setup is something that I feel is always worth paying a little bit of extra for. If it's feasible for you to do it and you don't necessarily have the knowledge to do it yourself. I mean, there's so much evidence that just goes, to illustrate the point that if it's not easy for you to play, you're not going to stick with it. So you want to get that sounding obviously as good as it possibly can right when you're
sounding, feeling right. I mean, everything. And yeah, the reality is, and I don't know what y'all did to this before it got to me, but the only thing I did when I got it is I changed the bridge. I put on a little higher bridge because I like a little higher action, but the way it came in, it played like butter. I mean, it was as we say in the South, it had power steering. I mean, it was really easy to play, a little too easy. And so I put a taller bridge on it just to get the action up just a little higher. And that was pretty much all I did. I don't even think I tightened the head for a while. And then later, we did we added the LR bags. Y'all can see there's a little wire coming out of my bridge. So the LR bags is installed, and you can see the pickup jack. And so that was done in y'all's custom shop.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so that was.
You do that to order also? Like if you're ordering one from a dealer, we can install those as they come to the dealer.
And boy, I do recommend I really do recommend this LR bags. I mean, it's it's not a boutique bridge, but as far as being able to plug and play, man, it's great. Now I do use, like, if I go out, I generally use that's what I use. Like when I go out, it's just the LR bags Paracoustic DI, and that's usually all I use. But I did a Ralph Stanley celebration at the Opry, and I carried this banjo, and I didn't take my DI, and I just plugged straight in, and it was fine. It sounded great, and I've done that a number of times. It's just I just plug in, go straight. The signal is good. I don't have to do a whole lot of EQ, and so that LR bags is a great mate to this. And if y'all look, it's kind of cool. You can see that I thought this was interesting. Oh, there it is. You can see the little tail coming out of the pickup, and then it goes through the head. So that's, I thought that was kind of neat. And so it's tidy. It just goes through the head. Yeah, there's a hole, and a little bit of hot glue on that to keep it from vibrating. And then from the custom shop there at Recording King, they installed that 1/4-inch jack, which also meant drilling through that there's a half moon circle through that tone ring. I don't know how y'all do it.
Well, hey, I mean, I should definitely say to Scott and Darren, our guys in setup, and I hope I'm not missing anyone. Also, my brother Travis, I'm sure, had a hand in it as well. But we try to make sure that everything that comes out of here is as good as it can be. So when we put in those pickups to go, they're very solid for sure.
Hey, there's somebody in my chat here. I just saw Lee Elliott. Here's a big shout out to Lee. When I started playing the banjo, my dad bought me the Earl Scruggs album. He didn't buy me the book. He bought the record that went with the book. He says, here, figure this out. And so I fumbled around with it. And at that music store in Dalton I told you about, Bigham Music, they had a book by Lee Elliott, this man. And it was very, I call it a cookbook method of how to play the banjo. He gives basic information, just simple stuff. Say, do this, do this, do this, and boom, you're playing the banjo. And it's like, holy smokes, this actually works. And so he asked me this question here: who has the most cats and most banjos, you or Frank Lee? Boy, that's a good. We're going to have a count. We're going to figure this one out. But I will tell you, Frank Lee, if y'all know him from the Freight Hoppers, Frank is a killer 3-finger player too. I mean, he and you can find some old recordings of him when I forget the name of the band, but he was playing with Ray Deaton and some good stuff. But Frank too learned out of Lee Elliott's book. And so, and as far as I know, Lee, you can say so in the chat if it's true. Do you still have some of those books for sale? I hope you do, because I've totally copied your method for my lessons that I teach on YouTube. I mean, it's just, I often say, it's like playing the banjo is a lot like running a Mexican restaurant. There's only so many ingredients that you've got. So at a Mexican restaurant, you got tortillas, meat, beans, lettuce, cheese, and maybe something else. But you can take those 5 ingredients and make like a 4-page menu of stuff with that. And so the banjo is a lot like that. You've got just a handful of ingredients, and if you can assemble them in such a way, and that's what I'm trying to teach in my videos. So yeah, Lee, man, I definitely wouldn't be here without you. I can tell you that. I'd still be struggling with my Earl Scruggs album going, I don't know what I'm supposed to do next. And so Lee actually put it all together for you. Ashley, I appreciate you jumping in here, man. This is...
Yeah, well, congratulations. We really want to support all that you do. I mean, you have opened a lot of people's eyes to banjo, and that is really, really awesome. You know, more music makes the world a better place, and that's something that we all can benefit from right now, no matter what you believe. So, you know, more music, people who are bringing that into the world, that's A-okay as far as working.
Really? That's such a good band show. Well, Ashley, I'm gonna let you go, man. And
thanks so much for having me.
All right, I'm gonna pick a little tune or fumble through one here. I haven't practiced this in forever. All right, we'll see y'all.
All right, congratulations, Jim, man. You're amazing.
I appreciate it. I hadn't thought of this tune until just like 10 minutes ago when I got, well, a little more than that, right before I started this. Oh, that's cool, Lee. Let's see. Wow, hadn't thought of that in forever. Vic, I don't know Mountain Sprout. I'll have to look them up. I like a lot of the modern stuff. I still, really into. I still like the old stuff, man. I still like Flat and Scruggs, and I still listen to the Stanley Brothers, and I just there's something about that old sound. There are some videos to tell you what really turns my crank. Hang on, let me look this up, and I'll put a link for y'all to check out on my channel sometime. But there is I can't type and talk. I can pick and talk. Let's see. If y'all want to know what really turns my crank as far as bluegrass music and what really turned me on when I was learning to play, there is just go to YouTube. You're here, but don't do it now. Do it later. Just type in. There's a special. It's Ralph Stanley and the Clinch Mountain Boys. It's a bluegrass 1977. It's a KET special, and it's Ralph Stanley, but Keith Whitley is singing, and it's our show. And that stuff right there, that's what turned me on when I was learning to play. And so y'all check that out. It's really good stuff. Vic, I don't guess I ever really listened to the Grateful Dead. I mean, I play in a group, and we occasionally do, Friend of the Devil and a couple of other Dead tunes, but the only reason I know them is the group. Daniel sings them in the group. So I was never much into that. I just Tim Miller, turn you crank. Yeah, turn you crank is a good thing. Can I play Cripple Creek? Aiden, yes I can. And yes I will. Let's grab a banjo that's in the actual G tuning. Let's play some Cripple Creek. That's a good place to start. And it's a good one to warm up on. I haven't warmed up, and I've got a guest coming on here in a minute. We're going to talk about warming up. So let's see, Cripple Creek, where y'all can see what I'm doing here. There's you some Cripple Creek. Hey, Charlie, appreciate that info. Yeah, I mean, that's such a killer show. I mean, stuff like that, because that would have been, what year was that, Charlie? 1977. That's right when I started picking. I started playing bluegrass in 1977. I started out in mandolin. That's end of the school year in 77, and then started guitar. But the only only records really we had at home was old country and old bluegrass albums. So that's what I was learning to pick. And so, yeah, 1977. Oh, man. Let's see. Yeah, Joseph, there's a lot of that stuff in those books that I've not done videos for. And yeah, and Buffalo Brain, my son, he was just a little kid and he came up with that song, and it's just pure nonsense. But yeah, and at the time I did most of those tabs for those book, that particular book and the Musical Misadventures book. I really didn't have a video outlet, and very few people did, unless you were a pro and living in, an area where you could do a actual DVD on Homespun or Bert Casey down in Atlanta. Then you were kind of relegated to tabs. So that's kind of how those are. And a lot of those tunes I haven't played since I put them in the book. Let's see here. All right. Well, I got somebody else that I want to bring in just for a minute. I hope she's paying attention. I've learned so much from this woman. I really have. I see her smiling. Y'all can't see her yet, but I really have. We're going to add her to the stream. There she is. She's over there.
Hi, everybody. You're over there.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? It's like, hey, y'all, this is Lisa Flores, and Lisa's a good friend and student, but friend and just smart person. Person I go to. So, hey,
hopefully,
what do I do?
And probably a better friend than a student these days, but still working on it.
When's group class start? We're gonna start Monday.
I think we can.
All right.
Looking
put
forward
you on
to
the spot
it.
on live video.
now,
Anyway,
now I have to be super accountable to it.
that's right. That's right.
Hey, congratulations on your YouTube channel and putting positive quality content out in the world for people to experience.
Well, I try to be. I
Oh, no.
try to be a
Okay,
nice
there you
guy. I try to be a nice guy.
It comes naturally to you.
Hey, Stefan, thanks for the 1.99 pounds. That's big bucks in this world. I appreciate it. Thanks, man. Yeah, y'all can do that. Y'all can make donations through the super chat. Why not? So, Lisa,
Yeah.
you're back to work, I hear. Yeah. How's things?
Yes, and
How's things?
it's good. There's a delay in the audio, so I don't mean to keep talking over you.
That's okay.
There it is. No, it works good. People are glad to be back. I'm glad to be back, and I'm brewing up ideas for the next month's worth of YouTube videos. So right now it's just the moves for musicians and some new ones coming up soon.
Hey, check
Oh,
this
there
out.
it is. How cute is
There's
that?
Tim. Hey, thanks, Tim. And then there was Stefan.
Thanks for chat for lesson 1. Good deal.
That's
Yeah,
good.
through doing the program with you in April, that seems like ages ago already.
I know.
Some of my friends revealed that they were excited to learn how to play banjo, and they've also started watching the 10 series.
All right.
So that's pretty good.
Well, y'all need to go out to Lisa's channel. She's due some content just any time now.
Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing a house chores series, like how to move more while you're doing your house chores in case
You
people
should
have
have
more
been
time
here
on their
you should have been here over the past couple of weeks and videoed me dragging brush out of the thicket in the back out here. I am so sore. Let me tell you what. So long story because I don't know any others. When we moved to this county, when I was in high school, my parents bought a piece of property and it was just a thicket. I mean, it was just nothing but thicket. And it was 5 acres of nothing but trees and scrub brush and just everything. And we cleared it all by hand. And when I say by hand, I'm not talking.
That's hard work, man.
Not talking. I'm talking bush axe, sling blade, machete, whatever it took to get through the areas. We had to make a road. We had to clear a spot to put the house. I mean, everything, we did it all by hand and drug limbs and brush. And by the end of that summer, I was so strong. I mean, I was physically, I mean, the muscles, and I can feel it now because when you grab a big limb in one hand and big limb in the other, and you're dragging them, I mean, all of this through here is working, and it's just murder. And so by the time I wound up going to a new high school. I was not one to be trifled with at that point. I was stout. And now I tell you, after a couple of weeks of working out here in the back and clearing that thicket, I am starting to feel that again. So yeah, I've had the pec workout over the past couple of weeks, just dragging those branches and pulling stuff out of the woods. Oh man, yeah. I've moved a lot. I have been on the ground. I have been up and down. I have squatted all week cutting stumps, and with the chainsaw.
I don't know if you can hear me, but
I
I'm
can't.
lip reading you.
Oh no! What happened to your ears?
There's no audio coming through.
Oh no!
But you're animated enough that I think I'm following along on the story.
All right.
So, in honor of all that yard work, and as a congratulations, I want you to give yourself a pat on the back.
Oh gosh, I don't know if my arm will reach back there.
Yeah, and then you can go this direction too.
Oh gosh, yeah, I tell you,
Yeah.
I am sore. I mean,
All the way.
from
Yeah.
squatting to bending over. I mean, it's just it's hard on an old man that hadn't done that in a while. So but it felt good, you know. It's one of those. You get up the next day and you go, oh, I'm a little sore, but I'm good. Let's do it again. So anyway, Lisa, have you got us a
glad you
tip?
got some full body movement in. I'm afraid if I try to switch audio, I'll cut out.
Hey, check this out.
Oh, wow. Check that out. That's cool.
Yeah. Torbisher, really appreciate that, man. You just don't know. You just don't know. We are. Hey, Tammy, you know, we're celebrating here our 50,000 subscribers. So, yeah, there's going to be some talking. Let's see. Now, what I want to do, and I don't know how to do this, but I've got some hats to give away. So I could do, I'm going to give away 5 hats. 5 of these, and I don't know what I want for them. Lisa, if you want to switch your audio, you can. So you want to? Can you hear me, Lisa? No, she can't hear me. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to give away some hats.
I'm trying to listen here.
Okay, well that's going to be weird. Yeah, we can hear Lisa. She just can't hear us. So what would be a good way, y'all, to give away these hats? What would be a good way to give away a hat? I could ask a trivia question. Let's see.
Maybe like a pop quiz.
Pop quiz. Let's do a trivia question. Let's see. All right, so let me get over here. Uh-oh, that's not what I wanted. I want banners. There we go. Boom. So we're going to do this like radio station. I've got 5 hats to give away. First 5 right answers to this email address right there, jimpankey@outlook.com. I'll send you a hat, no charge. And then once I send you a hat, I need a picture of you wearing that hat, or I'm going to repo your hat at some point. So let's come up with a trivia question.
Can you model that hat for us?
Gosh, no, I got game show host head. My head, I got such a big head, and it's not from y'all giving me 50,000 subscribers, but that hat is maxed out.
Nice.
So there we go. What do you think? I'm not a hat guy.
I like it. You got the trucker look going on.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I got my festive shirt and my hat. So there's the hat. I won't send you this one because, you know, I might have cooties or something, but I'll send you one of the, unless you want this. And, you know, if you want me to write my name on it or something, I'll do that too. But so we got to have a trivia question. So what's it going to be?
I know. What kind of banjo picks do you use when you play the banjo?
Oh, somebody has already asked that question in the chat, and I feel bad for not doing it and not answering them. But I think that's going to be the trivia question. So, but no, let's not do that, because let's do something. Let's do something random about me that could be easily found out. All right.
What
so
other
in the early
instruments
90s,
do you play?
this is as random as it comes. So in the 90s and in the early 2000s, I was on the board of directors for an association, and it was another hobby association, and it's not music related, but it's hobby related. and it's kind of sport related. And if you can tell me what that was, and see, I gotta give you a good. No, would you quit? And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you the letters of the acronym of the association, and the acronym is AYYA. AYYA. And I was on the board of directors and of that association, and I'm still involved, but the AYYA no longer exists. But I'm still involved in that. So if y'all can figure that out. First 5 right answers, boy, that's as random as it comes, gets one of these cool Recording King trucker hats. So don't put your answer in the chat. You got to send it to the email address that's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Here it comes. It's coming right about there. So there it goes. So there we go. All right. So trucker hat. Now I got hat head. Let's fix that. I've turned my air conditioner
Maybe
off
at the
here.
end of the 5 trivia questions.
What? Are you still deaf?
There's a delay. I'm gonna go and come back.
Okay. All right. Oh, you're back. Now she's gone. All right. Yeah. So somebody asked about my picks. What picks do I use? I'll show you my picks. My finger picks, and I've used these for daggone near forever. They are Ernie Ball picky picks. And this thing ain't never going to focus. Let's see. There they are. But they're the Ernie Ball picky picks, and they're kind of pointed on the end. And they got those bands. And I have used these for ages. They are super picks. I like them. I'm not an endorsing artist for the picks. I buy them. The last time I bought these picks, I bought a gross of them because they were just going to quit making them. And it's like, you can't quit making the only picks that I can use. So that's what I use. A thumb pick I use a blue chip JD thumb pick in a large size because I got a big thumb. I use the blue chip pick. Prior to using the blue chip, I used the Golden Gate Clown Barf picks, and then I used the Dunlop Calicos. But I've used all kind of stuff. Let's see. All right. Let's see if Lisa can.
I'm back.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you in real time now.
All right. Wonder where you were getting a delay.
Not sure. But I was thinking that after you come up with your 5 trivia questions and your winners, you could do like another live and maybe reveal some of
The winners. Well, I'll reveal the answer at some point. But yeah, the first 5 right answers at that email address, I bet you there's already answers there.
Or I've already got 5 answers.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. Lisa, you got us any hand tips today?
Yeah, well, so you can give yourself like the wave, whole thing, but you can also just try to articulate. Articulate each joint, in the C.
I want y'all to look. Do that again, like that. I want y'all to look how limber Lisa's hands are. To be that limber.
Hey, yeah, you got the look. Although I know your hands are longer than mine, so.
I do. I do this, but I didn't know that I was supposed to be doing this.
Yes, and there would be different things. Like if I do it just like that.
Man, we could go like almost to a 90. What the heck?
Wait, I got to get to the camera 90 degrees. So instead of just bending here,
right?
Try to bend that joint and that joint as well.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. Y'all try that and see what you think.
Our it over, you'll get something different. Well, if you are covered, which feels
Wow. Interesting.
and then yeah, that actually does feel good.
Yeah, that's good. All right.
Put it
All
over.
right. So y'all check out Lisa's channel. She's got some great information out there for musicians and not musicians. I mean, it all applies. All right. Hey, y'all, I got Smokey here. He came to see me. Y'all, this is Smokey. Would you turn around? Stop being weird. This is Smokey.
Wait, Smokey. How come Smokey has a collar on today?
Hello. It's just a flea collar.
Okay.
It's when you have inside outside cats, you got to have something.
Yeah.
Gotta have something. Yeah. All right. Well, y'all check out Lisa's channel. She's on YouTube. You can find her from my suggested channels if you go to my YouTube channel, and she's one of my highlighted channels. So y'all go check her out. Be sure to subscribe to her because she needs some subscribers. She's got good info out there. So y'all go check her out.
Thanks, Jim. Congrats.
Bye, Lisa. We'll see you. Thanks for jumping in.
Bye.
All right, bye. Hayward, Hayward asks, what strings do I use? Well, banjo strings. and I'm not really trying to be facetious because I ordered strings the other day and I wound up ordering multiple brands. I use the Dario strings. I use Martin. I use the Martin Vegas. I've got some GHS strings. I've used SIT. Man, I've used everything. I do kind of have a gauge that I'm shooting for, like on the RK35. It's a D'Addario set. It's a 9.5 set. Forget exactly. I bet you somebody in Jody Hughes. Yeah, next live stream you do. There's a 9.5 set D'Addario. Somebody in the chat probably knows the J number they are. On the M5, I use it's just a 9, just a regular light gauge set on the M5. I use the 9s, and then on my open back banjos, my clawhammer banjos, I use a heavier string. I use like a medium gauge where I've got like an 11 on the first string, so almost a heavy. So this is like 11, 13, 16, 24, or 26. And another 11. So I like them pretty heavy. If I'm playing clawhammer, it's. So I use a heavier string on it. So I use just a variety of strings, but it really depends on the instrument. Some instruments I like a different gauge string on, and I sure don't have a brand preference. Most everything's really about the same. Gosh, I don't know. Let's see here. Let's pick a tune. Let's see. What could we do? Really trying to come. I know y'all are saying, when's Jim going to do another instruction video? Well, I'll be honest with you. I've been trying to think of something to teach you. I mean, I've got a ton of stuff out there, and hang with those beginner lessons, and I've been just trying to ponder up a tune that might be fun to learn. not play Cumberland Gap? I believe I can. I believe I can. Cumberland Gap. Let's see. And I teach this in one of my videos. I teach a pretty basic version of it, but I mean you can do all kind of stuff with Cumberland Gap. There's just sloppy Cumberland Gap, but you know, it is what it is. Shane, as far as clawhammer series, I did a 3-lesson series for clawhammer, and honest to goodness, I don't know if I can do a 10-lesson series for beginner clawhammer. I just don't know that much. I've got in the 3-lesson series, I covered a great deal of the techniques and stuff that I use for clawhammer, but you know, there's just I just don't have a lot of things to say about clawhammer. It's a lot of it has to do with the way I approach clawhammer. It's a little different. But yeah, I thought I want to do some more clawhammer stuff. I just don't feel like I've got the vocabulary to do it. But you know, it is what it is. Let's see. Any tips for sliding? Every time I touch a string, it stops playing. Well, yeah, Vic. Here's Vic's question. Slides, and that applies whether clawhammer or on your slide. You need to make sure that you got it planted before you slide. Make sure you got your note planted first, and then you're going to slide. So that's the biggest thing, because yeah, if you touch it with it open, and then yeah, you could kill it. But keep it planted and make sure that it rings out. Jeff, the thing I hated about, so Jeff asked, what was it I hated about the Picky Picks when I first got them? I just couldn't get a decent sound out of them. They just felt flimsy. They just felt flimsy, and so I guess I got used to it. I guess. Let's see. Anybody who knows the name of that song? Who can tell me the name of that song? Tell me the name of the song. The first chat that comes across, I'll send you a hat. First one. I got one more hat I can give away. So if you know the name of that song, I'll tell you what, send it to that email address. I know I'm confusing here, but send it to that address. There it goes. Hey, Donna, that's not correct. But it's close. It's close. All right. Let's see. Playing back up. Can you vamp other chords? Absolutely. You can vamp anything you want to vamp. So any chord that you know, you can vamp. So you asked about E minor. So Jason asked, playing back up, can you vamp other chords? Yes, I can. So you got G, E minor, C, D, G, E minor, C, C sharp diminished, D, D7, C7. Yeah, any chord. So yeah, you can vamp anything. All right, let's see here. All right, y'all. Joey, kind of, sort of. I really don't play much Dixieland stuff. I did the musical Annie. I was in the band for Annie and mostly playing guitar for it. But there were a couple of banjo parts that were played on tenor banjo that I played. But no, I don't play tenor banjo. It's crazy. Easy ways to mute your banjo. Well, yeah, clothespins work. You can take a couple of clothespins. And clip them to your bridge, and that will mute. It creates a mute. That's pretty simple. Pretty simple mute. Oh, how long does it take to get calluses? Oh gosh, I don't know. I've had these for so long now, but they came pretty quick. The more you play, but don't overdo it. Really think about, take it in small steps. I got blisters on my fingers when I was playing, but I just kept on playing. The calluses came pretty quick. And Rob's right. You got to figure out the least amount of pressure. But part of it, when you're just starting out, your fingers are soft, so you got to press a little harder than I do because I've got a callus. Of course, I don't have much in the way of calluses. I mean, it's hard to tell, but I mean, my fingers are pretty soft. But I've learned just how hard to press. Banjo's in the way. yeah. Shout out to one of my heroes, Buck Trent. Let's see here. Talk about learning to play a tune that's not intended for banjo, but figuring out how to play it on the banjo with rolls. You know, Ricky Meyer said it best: play the melody, put rolls behind it. And really, a lot of times that's what it is. I was trying to think of a song. Let's see. A song. But any song that you know the melody to, you should be able to come up with a with something, you know, a little bit of. So let's think of a song. There you go. That's about as far from something as that I would play on the banjo. So there's your melody. All right, so let's start with that. So basically, I find the melody notes that I need. So those are quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so I can put something. 1, 2, and 3, 4. And you gotta hunt the melody, but find the melody, be able to. So like that second part, I'd never tried. All right, so I didn't know I was going to be playing Hava Nagila on the banjo today, but you can take any song that you can find the melody to, and start sticking in notes on the in between. You don't have to. Don't even really think in terms of rolls. Thinking. I'm just putting a 5-1. So da, da, 5-1. So I'm just putting a 5-1 at the end of certain melody notes, and suddenly it sounds like I'm picking that song on the banjo because I am. And that's how I do it. I don't know how anybody else does it. Any tips on left hand position and timing? Left hand position, I tell kids and even adults, you know, left hand position, you want your hand relaxed. It's almost like you're going to shake hands with your left hand. You want it kind of like that. I rest my thumb right there, and then that knuckle right there on the neck. So, oh gosh, I don't know if I can show you, but without me being, but that, and I'm not up into the crook of my hand. I'm just right there, and that's where my hand rests, and then. there. That's my left hand position. Don't stick your elbow out. Keep everything relaxed, and then your fingers should be able to reach. Sometimes that gives you room to pivot your hand and reach. A lot of you I know struggle with getting that pinky to the fourth fret. But let me show you something. So if I take that up, my hand is really not. It's not like it's this. It's still fairly closed. So it's not that big a stretch. I know it feels like it, but notice that I've rotated around and I've let my thumb slide behind the neck for that. But as far as timing, man, just timing. Play the song, think the song, play with records, play with recordings. That's a huge deal. Brett, man, I don't know. I don't know. Molly Hare. Let's talk about Molly Hare. That's an old time tune, and that's one that I play, and I think about. I play clawhammer on it, but Molly Hare's a song that's got words, and so when I think about Molly Hare, I think about the song. Let's see. Oh, Molly Hare, what you doing down there? Running through the briar patch fast as I can tear. All right, so the melody. That's pretty much the melody. And so for clawhammer, we just bum ditty our way through it to begin with. So that's the first part of Molly Hare. And so I think that's going to be my next video lesson. I'm going to teach y'all how to play Molly Hare, clawhammer style. So that's what we'll do. That we'll do that. Clarence, thanks for that suggestion. Totally going to do that. Justin, glad that made sense. I mean, pretty much any song that you can think of, if you can find the melody and you can add those extra notes in between. Graham, thanks for watching my videos. Thanks for letting me teach you. Hey, thank all y'all for letting me teach you anything at all. I mean, y'all just don't know. Oh, let's see. I started using index, middle, thumb, middle. What are talking about in do forward? Definitely feels better than index, middle. Definitely feels better than index, middle, index, middle. So I'm talking about breakdown. Here, let me put Justin's thing back up there. This roll that he's talking about in Foggy Mountain Breakdown, it's the 2-1-2-1. Let's see here. Figure out which way to go. And you can do that index, middle, 5-2-1-5. And a lot of folks really want to do it that way. Earl didn't do it that way. Earl did it index, middle, thumb, middle. Why? It's repeatable that way. It's it's still a forward roll. So that's the big part of the thumb. The other part is that thumb is on the beat too. So remember, I've told y'all, friends don't let friends clap on 1 and 3. We clap 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we put that beat there, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So it adds that extra oomph. It adds that oomph to the to that 2, which is a good thing. We should do more of that. Okay. Thought I saw a ghost. Let's see here. Hey, Randy. Oh yeah. Man, I wish I remember. Randy's asking me about a song. Randy and I used to play together quite a bit, and we made up a song over in Helen, Georgia, Vogel State Park, wasn't it? I don't remember, but there's a little dam over there named Dodd Dam, and so we made a breakdown, and y'all can figure it out. And man, Randy, I wish I remembered it. I really do. I bet if we sat down together, we could figure it out. Randy's a local guy here, another good picker. Hey, Eli, thanks, man. I tell you, this having this many subscribers it's humbling, and it's like I didn't mean to get this many. It was totally an accident. I really never set out to have, it was not in my mind. When I first started my channel, we have cats. When we started, I don't know if you can hear them or not. When we started my channel, I didn't really have any aspirations of just anything but just sharing some stuff. I didn't know that anybody would ever reach out, just, wanting to learn. But man, here's the thing, y'all. I have 50,000 subscribers, 5 million views. And that's a lot. That's a lot of folks, and that's a lot of views. Y'all are watching my videos. And if you're not subscribed, and 60% of you aren't, go hit the subscribe button. I mean, seriously, if here's, so obviously, what's the next goal? 100,000. That's going to take a while. Unless the 60% of you that aren't subscribed will go and hit that button, that'd be awesome. And I could get to, look, if the 60% of the people that watch these videos that are not subscribed would hit that button, I'm telling you, I could be 100,000 tomorrow. But I mean, I know how it is. I get it. But yeah, 50,000 subscribers. Here we go. Uh-oh. Hi from the UK. Here we go. There's the one on line. Will speed come with time, or do you have to push it? It's a little of both. You got to practice playing fast. You gotta, but you got to take your time getting fast. You don't want to just jump into fast. Just work your way into it. But yeah, you're gonna have to work your way into that a little bit. You can't. I mean, so don't rush it, and be sure that you've got your techniques and stuff down smooth. Smooth is fast. So do that. But yeah, it's going to come. I don't know how long you've been playing, but it does take a while to build a little speed. And but you have to work at it. It's It's like, back when I was running sprints, I wanted to be faster. And so I would go out and practice running sprints and practice getting faster. So yeah, you have to practice speed too. Graham, yeah. So this is the RKM5, but I do have the 35 that I also play. It's now my plug-in banjo. I've got to adjust my strap's too big. Y'all, I've lost 50 pounds. That's the reason I'm not in overalls. So, hey, that's another 50 number. There's another 5 number. It says, Jim lost 50 pounds, gained 50,000 subscribers, and 5 million views. It's interesting coincidence. So, yeah, I've got to adjust this strap. But yeah, the RK35, y'all. If you're looking for a good banjo, let me see if I can get rid of that window. There we go. If you're looking for a good banjo, that RK35 is definitely the way to go. And they're not terribly expensive. Let's see. Justin asked, "Is there a banjo that costs a little bit less than they are 35, but comparable when it comes to sound playing?" Just wait and get the 35, dude. Seriously, save your pennies, get the 35. Find a deal. Occasionally, you find a deal on a used one. Sometimes you'll see a bargain somewhere. Jeff Howald down in Atlanta, his Banjo Warehouse. Occasionally, I have a bargain on the RK35. He had the BGM 30s down there not too long ago, which is another good option in the RK if you can find them. They don't make that one anymore, but occasionally they turn up. And but yeah, 35 definitely. My unsolicited opinion. Severin, congratulations on 25 subscribers. I'm one of them. I see when you post stuff. Let's see. This one. Yeah, so if you went through my 10 lesson series, the next question is, what do I learn now? I made a playlist called Learn These Next. And you don't have to learn them all. Learn 3 or 4 of those. Learn the ones you like, because it's going to give you the basic tools. Definitely learn Home Sweet Home. Definitely learn Home Sweet Home. But the rest of them, pick and choose the ones that you want to learn. And then, man, you should be able to dive into anything at that point. Seriously. Thanks, Scott. Let's see, how does the 2 to 3 slide sound on that from Cripple Creek? Oh gosh. So the slide. Oh well, let's see. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, that slide is fun. Well, Graham, sometimes I only go from 2 to 3. So yeah, it just depends. 800 pounds for the RK35 at Tom Ann. Seems like a good deal to me. Shane, Steinway doesn't offer left-handed pianos either. And not to be flippant or mean, but look check out some orchestras. Next time you look at an orchestra, look for the left-handed violinist or cellist. You won't see any because there's not any. I mean, they may write left-handed, they may throw a ball left-handed, but here's what I was. Hang on, let me make this go away. So, talking about left-handedness. And then Steve and I'll get to your question too. Let me answer Steve real quick. Glucosamine, I still do my glucosamine, and yeah, it helps. I'm 56. I'll be 57 this year, and I definitely feel it. I also do those exercises that Lisa Flores posted, and I'm telling you, it really helps. But back to left, Donna. Bye, Donna. Back to left-handedness. Which hand do I use to play my banjo? I use them both. Bela Fleck is left-handed. Bela Fleck is one of the best banjo players ever graced this planet. He has such incredible left-hand dexterity. I mean, I don't. My left hand is stupid because I'm right-handed. My right hand's pretty smart. Left hand, not too bright. And so I'm constantly struggling with finger positions and chord shapes, and especially single string work. Stuff like that I really struggle with because if I was left-handed, and in all the years I've taught, especially for an absolute beginner that doesn't play any musical instruments at all, and we're just talking absolute beginner, never had any musical experience, I just hand them a regular instrument. You know, Gibson called their 5-string banjo an RB, a regular banjo. It's a regular banjo. And just like a regular piano, has 88 keys. Low notes are on the left, high notes are on the right. You can't buy them any other way. And because you use both hands to play the piano, you use both hands to play the banjo. So if you're starting out absolutely fresh and don't already play, then, man, I just recommend you to get this. If you're already hardwired the other way and playing guitar or whatever else, yeah, can't help you there. But, you know, but then you got folks like Jack Baker, who was right-handed and then had some issues with his right hand and switched over and learned to play left-handed. And I think he still plays both. So it can be done. I've got a ukulele friend here, was a student, and she's left-handed, and I mean hardwired left-handed. And she made the decision up front to learn on just a regular right-handed instrument, and she's glad she did, because now she can walk into a store, pick up a ukulele, and play it. And so if you're starting out on banjo and don't already play a musical instrument, start out on a right-handed one. It's going to save you money in the long run, and you'll be able to walk into a shop and pick every banjo in there, except for the one or two left-handed ones that they might have. Let's see. Jeffrey, I've traded a banjo for a car. No, I traded a car for a banjo. That's it. I traded a car for a guitar. No, I traded a guitar for a car. Yeah, I've done that. yeah, Jeff, I'm a young guy. You betcha. Let's see. How's the weight of the 35? It's pretty heavy. It's probably about 12 pounds, which is kind of the going rate for a banjo. A good pro banjo is anywhere from 12, 13 pounds, somewhere in that ballpark. I've never actually weighed it, but that's about what it feels like. Jeffrey, I've had a couple of students. Jeffrey asked about banjos off Wish. I've had a couple of students wind up with those, and one was fine, the other was absolute garbage. I mean, it was really bad, and one was held together with looked like decking screws. I mean, it was really bad. So be very careful. You can find something somewhere and not wind up with something that's just going to keep you from playing. Yeah, Rod, I agree with Rod. It's just it's a risk. Yeah, Shane, thanks for the congrats. And yeah, maybe I should go buy a lottery ticket. Maybe I should buy 50 of them, or maybe just 5. Maybe I could buy 5 lottery tickets and just put in all 5s. Maybe that'll do that. All right, y'all. Do I use tabs very often? No. I don't even like tabbing songs. Now I've got some tabs out there, and let's talk about this. I just don't like them. And I was in my 20s before I ever really used any tabs at all. And it wasn't because I was needing to see a tab. It was because I had a student that was just begging me for some tabs. And I just don't do tabs. I didn't learn from tab. Even Lee Elliott's book, it had just a few little tabs in it in the very front of the book of just like a couple of measures of licks that he was going to use throughout the book. But as far as using a tab to learn a whole song, I've never done that. I have never taken a tab and memorized an entire tab in my life. I just don't approach music that way. And I can listen to somebody play a song and come up with a way for me to take the things that I know how to do and build that song. But sometimes it's easy. Yeah, sometimes it's easier to have it on a piece of paper, but it's so hard to move away from the piece of paper. Let's see. Sometimes when I fret with my middle finger, it mutes the surrounding strings. Will that get better with practice? You don't need a wider fingerboard. It's going to take practice, and you can do it. You can do it. Graham wants to know how long I've been playing. Since 1977. So do the math. I don't know. Over 40 years. I should be a lot better than I am. Hey, Rod, I appreciate it. Yeah, maybe I should buy some new. I gotta go to Bristol and go up to LC King at some point and get some more pointers. During banjos, depends on the model. If you're getting into the Eagles or the Sierras, those are great. They're costly. What capo? Well, on this banjo, I have, it's a Page capo. That's what I use. It's a Page capo. And then, let's see, on this one, I've got, it's a McKinney. It's an older McKinney. See if I can get it off the banjo. It's not been off here in forever. It's just an older McKinney capo from the 80s or 90s. And I've had it for a long time. And then I use other stuff. I've got, like on my old time banjos, I didn't get them out. I just use the Scruggs Rubin capos. They're just it's just a C-clamp kind of capo. I don't use any spring type capos. They're all screw type. That's what I prefer. Let's see. Any other questions? Folks, we're probably closer to the end of this show than we are to the beginning of it. Let's see. Did y'all get to see? We talked about Greg Rich earlier. I didn't show y'all. Look at the fingerboard on this thing. Dun, dun, dun. Check that out. This is a recording king ukulele. And Greg Rich did a Florentine. This is a Venetian scenes. Got little people in boats and buildings there in Venice. It's pretty neat. So Greg did that for me. I guess he's an amazing artist. Let's see here. Hello, Tina Pankey. Y'all say hi to my wife. She's right there somewhere. Thank you for the congratulations. Let's see. Well, folks, if you don't have any more questions, I don't think I missed anything. If I did, I'm sorry. Sure didn't mean to skip over you. And I appreciate y'all. Y'all just don't know. This has become, one of the things that I look forward to every day is answering comments on my Brent. Yeah, no, I don't know if I know any Italian tunes, but I look forward to every day answering comments and questions on my YouTube channel. I've got an Instagram too. Careful on my Instagram, you'll see more ukulele stuff out there. If your banjo tuner says it's tuned right and doesn't sound like yours in your lessons, how do I make it sound right? Gosh, I don't know. Most of the time I tune up with a tuner before I start, so I know I'm pretty close. So part of it has to do with practice and tuning. You'll get better, I think. When I was learning to play, I would actually, put on a record and just tune my banjo until it sounded like the record. So that's how I made that work. Oh, mercy. All right, folks. Well, thanks for watching. What do I do for a living? Vic asked what I'm doing it right now. I play music, I teach music, but right now my playing music and teaching music privately are kaput. I don't have private students right now. I don't have any gigs right now. So right now what I'm doing is YouTube. And so I have my YouTube channel. I have a Patreon. If y'all want to support me there, that's cool. And then I sell my little tab books on my selfie site. And so this is just kind of what I do. What I've done in the past, I've been everything, man. I've done a little bit of everything through the years. Jeff, yeah, I like banjo strings. Depends on the banjo. I use on my M5, I use a light gauge set. On my RK35, I use a medium light, and on my open back banjos, I use a medium. So yeah, it just depends on the banjo. Depends on the style I'm playing. So let's see. All right, folks. Well, here we go. Tristan asks, how am I doing during these difficult times? I'm doing just fine. My life hasn't changed a whole lot other than the fact that, there's no gigs and there's no private lessons really locally. But yeah, hanging in there, still doing what I do. All right, so let's see. Oh, wait a minute. There it was. Can you explain why some banjos have no frets at the bottom of the neck and some do? Yeah. So like, ta-da, no frets in here. And there's actually a little scoop. And so for clawhammer players, sometimes we like to play over that. So that gives you a little room to play right there. And so that's why that's missing. And yeah, you lose those frets, but it creates let's see, There we go. You can see the little bit of a scoop, and so it creates some room to be able to play there up over the neck, and it gives you a little different sound when you play there. So that's why that's that. Let's see. Torbisher, cuddle with that banjo a lot. Definitely, banjo can definitely be a good friend. You can spend a lot of good times with your banjo, and hey, Rick Silva asks, have I done any looting? Yeah, I have looted tons of stuff from Ralph Stanley and Earl Scruggs, Bobby Thompson. Yeah, I loot licks. I'm a lick looter. That's funny. Graham asks, do I get money from? Yeah, I'm monetized. I get, those little commercials that come on right before you get to watch the video, and you have to wait 5 seconds and hit skip commercial. I get pennies for those, so I do get a little bit. So that kind of helps, and then the Patreon kind of helps. So. Let's see, what else? Do I do any busking? I have. Not a whole lot. There's really nowhere around here to busk. I can go sit in the park and play, but usually by myself over there. And Vic asked if I play Dixie. I don't, not really. Let's see. Graham, thanks. Yeah, it's a good banjo. Let's see. Would you recommend getting comfortable with Scruggs style before moving single string? Not necessarily. My student Trevor Holder, we tackled, just start with some simple single string stuff and start getting into your vocabulary. There's no reason to ignore it. It's kind of hard, be working on it. So. Pretty poly. I've thought about doing instruction of that, but it would really, I don't think it's going to fit what I do. Oh, here's a good question. When playing standard like I saw the light, how much playing is same exact roles by muscle memory versus improv? Man, some stuff is worked out, where I know what I'm going to do. But I don't necessarily always play it the same. I mean, because I know that the melody is so I can go or I could go I mean, there's a ton of ways that I can do that, and so I don't really have anything that's particularly worked out. I mean, I know certain things work. Kind of feeling around for where the melody is supposed to be and approaching it that way. I don't really have a lot of stuff like, I mean, I know the melody of the song and that's what I'm shooting for. As far as having a particular way that I do it, no, I mean, not really. Sometimes, but it's rare. Derbyshire, man, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Gosh, y'all. Banjo face. Oh, Jeff Arnold. Banjo face. Oh, hey, let me show y'all something. Y'all have heard the joke. How you tell if the stage is level? Banjo player drools out of both sides of his mouth. Huh. Here, y'all check this out. See all of them spots and all of that gunk? Yeah, those are drool spots. It's real. Hang on, I'll show you this other banjo. There are spots and stuff there you can see. Those are drool spots where drool has dripped out of my mouth. Seriously. Here's another banjo. See those spots and stuff? You see them right in there. Yeah. Drool spots, banjo face. Absolutely. I can absolutely get totally zoned out. It's just not even funny. Or it is funny, but sometimes not expected. Do I have a list of tracks that would be ideal for a beginner with tabs and where to get it? Okay, so here's what I would recommend. If you will, hang on, I'll type you a link here. And it's not going to be clickable because it's going to scroll across the bottom here, but so if you'll go to www.selfie.com, Wild Jimbo, I have a bunch of tabs. Any of those tabs there, if you go there and there is a video demo of that, those are the videos that go with the tabs. And that's a good place to get those if you really feel like you need the tabs. Honestly, I think y'all can do this without the tabs. I really believe you can. I am convinced that you can do it without the tabs. Let's see. Let's see what it says. Any tips to do a hammer on with the ring finger? Man, I don't know if do I do a hammer on with a ring finger? Let's see. I don't know if I do that. Dang, Seven. Throwing puzzles at me here. Let's see. Do I do a hammer on with a ring finger? I can. I can, but do I? Yeah. So, any tips to do a hammer on with the ring finger? Yeah, you know the answer. Practice. But yeah, I never really thought about it. Fromage, I like this shirt too. It's festive. I figured it was a good way to celebrate I bought it specifically for this, I'll be honest. I can hear a slight scratching sound when finger picking. Any ideas what it could be? Yeah, it's your pick scratching against the string. And hearing that is the first step to making that go away. And you can make that go away. Pick through the string, follow through. You know, you hear about that in sports and all kind of other things. Be sure to follow through. Pick the string. Don't slow down when you get there. If you slow down when you get there, you go clink. You know, and the string will be vibrating. And when the string's vibrating, and your pick touches it's going to get a little vibrating, scratchy sound. Pick through that string. I mean, just pick through it. You know, and so, but it'll get better. The fact that you can hear it is the first step. You know, gosh, the first step to solving a problem is admitting you've got a problem. But since you can hear it, you'll be able to get it worked out. I promise you. Robert Nipper, good to see you, man. Let's see. All right, y'all. Well, short of any other nonsense here, we're gonna make sure that I've got stuff up here. Go back to my little celebration. And I mean, 50,000. Who knew? I didn't even know there was 50,000 banjo players in the world. That's a lot of folks. All right, well, I'll pick us a little tune or something. Let's see. Figure out which way to point this camera. Hey, there's ice cream. The only person I know that does that is Greg List. He plays with Crooked Still, and it's totally different. Yeah, I've never even tried it. All right, folks. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. Let's see. Oh gosh, there's another question. Isn't it harder to hit the strings with Ernie ball picks? I don't have any problem with it. Maybe it's kind of what I'm used to. Let's see. And any banjo related books? I like history, so I buy any kind of banjo history book that's available. So I read a lot of history. So there's that. As far as picking books, I don't know. Tony Trishka's got a neat book. It's the Hot Licks for Bluegrass Banjo. It's just a tab book with a bunch of cool hot licks and he shows you where you can use them in the song. So that's pretty handy. That's the one lick that I got out of that book that I use on a regular basis is just is that lick, and I use it in songs, and it came out of the Tony Trishka book. I thought it was pretty cool. All right, okay, folks. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm gonna hit the button. Speak now, forever hold your peace. We'll see you next time. Hey, and yeah, I'll get a lesson out here pretty soon, probably next week. But all right, y'all. See y'all. Thanks for all y'all's support. Really, seriously. Thanks. See y'all.